Some ME-CFS recovery coaches make the claim that chronic fatigue syndrome, also known as myalgic encephalomyelitis, is simply the product of a hypersensitive nervous system issue. That is to say that the only abnormality within ME-CFS is a dysregulated autonomic nervous system and a hyperactivation of the flight, fight and freeze responses. As a result, these coaches teach that there is nothing physiologically or biomedically wrong with the bodies of ME-CFS patients and that all of their symptoms are simply a product of a hypersensitive nervous system. While there can be value to brain retraining, the idea that ME-CFS only involves a hypersensitive nervous system is actually dangerous and just plain wrong. Painstaking research has actually identified key biomedical problems within ME-CFS, problems that are central to the nature of the illness. These include microscopic clots, which actually condense the blood, make it darker and more sluggish, and impede oxygen transfer. Low blood volume, whereby ME-CFS patients can actually have up to 1 to 1.5 litres less blood than the physiological norm. And autoimmunity against vascular receptors, which can limit the perfusion of blood into the muscles and into the brain. Harvard University has identified a unique cardiac abnormality within ME-CFS patients. It's called preload failure, and it refers to a failure of the blood to return adequately up to the heart during the diastolic phase or relaxation phase of the heartbeat. In addition, research has also uncovered cellular abnormalities within ME-CFS, such as high intracellular sodium and calcium cellular overload, both of which can cause profound muscle weakness. Now, if all of those things aren't bad enough, it's even been found that during post-exertional malaise, the muscle fibers can actually become necrotic. That is to say, they actually die, which is about as clear as an example as you could wish for that there is something biomedically wrong with ME-CFS patients. But there have been countless other abnormalities identified in the well over 10,000 research papers to date, as even a cursory glance through those papers will show you. It is essential to understand that all of the physical abnormalities that I have just mentioned are considered by leading researchers to be central to the nature of ME-CFS. That is to say, these are not separate health problems unrelated to the condition. Rather, they are part and parcel of the very core nature of ME-CFS, and these are factors which feed into and sustain all of the interlinking vicious cycles that maintain the illness. If you want to really understand ME-CFS, I recommend that you read the paper by Professor Klaus Wirth and Professor Wirth Scheibenbogen, A Unifying Hypothesis on the Pathophysiology of ME-CFS, Recognitions from the Findings of Autoantibodies against Beta-2 Adrenergic Receptors. Now, all of this is not to say that brain retraining can't be helpful, or that it mightn't even lead to recovery. It can do those things. But it's also important, if you are a patient with an illness like ME-CFS or post-COVID ME-CFS, that you have the big picture about your illness so that you can understand what you are going through and make informed treatment choices. And perhaps think twice before you spend several $1,000s to one of those recovery coaches who's simply going to tell you that there's nothing physically wrong with your body.